Hello there. In this video, we are going to analyze and break down the 28.8 second Zulrah World Record that we set just a few days ago. We're going to break down all the little tricks, all the little things we did to optimize the run to maximize our odds of getting the world record. And then we're going to cover what was the odds of what happened to us happening. We had a method for 30 flat and we skipped a whole TiVo hit and got 28.8 instead. So I'm going to go into that. And then after that, we're going to talk about what is the future of Zulrah speedrunning. What is the fastest possible time we can see Zulrah be? Because I've seen this question asked many times in the comments, and I will answer it. What is the quickest Zulrah can be done? Anyways, let's get going. So we start the run. We pre-venged and we cast Spellbook Swap, which puts us on the RKS Spellbook for a single spell. So when we go here, we cast Summon the Thrall, and it puts us back on the Lunar Spellbook. Now we attack Zulrah with magic, with a Sang hit, and then do 4 TiVo shots. This is the optimal DPS we can do in this first phase with the current items we have. And then on the last TiVo hit, we do an accurate hit because we have enough time to recover afterwards. We put on our knife spec, and blue phase is what we wanted. You even hear me say please be blue, because green phase is much worse for this. So blue phase with its lower range defense is very important to get here. And we do 4 knife specs, and then after the 4th knife spec, we'll do a blowpipe hit into a TiVo hit. Notice here I'm equipping the Ring of Suffering for vengeance damage. Then we do the 2nd TiVo hit, and you can see here I'm stepping in before so I can do the last TiVo hit closer, so it dies sooner. And as I step in, I recasted Avenge to take even more damage from Zulrah, and it dies from a recoil and Avenge before I can even do a 3rd TiVo hit, which is just insane. Saving only 2 ticks because, you know, it wasn't my TiVo that killed it, it was Avenge and Recoil. And Chad is just freaking out. I'm freaking out because, like, I don't know at the time what the odds of this are. I didn't even consider this a possibility. But I know that it's something very, very rare. And we will get into just how rare that was. But anyways, first let's go back and go a little slower and dive a bit more into the details here of everything that's going on. So, anyways, one more time here, a bit slower. We got the Venge, Thrall, Spellbook Swap, back to the normal, do our Trident hit followed by 4 TiVo hits, and pay attention, with 4 TiVo hits, they all do near max. When you TiVo Zulrah, it does a max of 50 damage, because you cannot hit above 50 on Zulrah. And if you do hit above 50, it will roll between 45 to 50, which is why it's not hitting like just 50 every time. I think the JMODs do it for variability, so it's not the same number every time. You can see, accurate final hit. We get the blue phase. Now, green phase, I had a bit of a backup strat for my dragon throne axes that I brought, because the knives are kind of bad on green phase, so I had a bit of a backup strat with that. But thankfully we got blue phase, which is much better for the method we have here. And you can see here, we pray melee, very important, because the snakelings can only attack with magic or melee. But if we pray magic, then Zulrah cannot hit us, unless it does a range attack, which is introducing more RNG because the Venges are huge for our success rate. And we stand here so that there's a chance that this first snakeling, if it's a mage, can help block the other snakelings. Same if one of the other one's a mage. So, and then at the end we step in though, because if you stand as close as possible to Zulrah, that one tile closer, then your arrow actually lands 1 tick sooner, saving time with when you get that killing blow. So anyways here, do 4 knife specs here. And then for 1 blowpipe hit, and we're all just hitting huge. Blowpipe hit's a 30 here. And then TiVo with the Archer's Ring on. And then we quickly equip the Ring of Suffering for recoil damage, because we want to be on when Zulrah hits us soon. And we're getting ready here to cast our Avenge if we need to. See, we take Avenge, take a 31. I click here to step in. And as I step in, I click Avenge. I'm reacting to the fact Zulrah hit me. And I click the Avenge on the exact tick that I'm about to be hit, so that the snakelings don't have a chance to steal Avenge. It hits me, very good. I hit 48, Thrall hit 3, and then, excuse my VLC freaking out, the recoil hits a 2, and the Avenge hits a 5, and it dies. And something very important to note here, a very important mechanic at play here is overkill, which I did not get in this situation, but for my original plan method, which was going to be a 30-second flat speedrun, my Thrall is set up so that it will attack right after I do on my last T-bow hit, and it will give me overkill. And what overkill is basically normally an NPC when it dies will wait for a tick before beginning the death animation. But if you have overkill, it will skip waiting and die 1 tick sooner. So, and overkill happens if a monster reaches 0 HP, but there's still stuff hitting it. So like if you do a scythe swing, the first scythe kills it. If you had 20 on the first hit and then the other 2 hits hit like a 0-0, those 2 0-0s give overkill and speed up the death animation by 1 tick. So overkill is very important for world records for saving every little bit of time you can. But in this case, we did not get overkill because the recoil hit first and then the Venge finished it off. Zulrah has 16 on us, so if the Venge had hit first, it would have done up to 12 damage, which would have killed Zulrah, and then the recoil would have been overkill. So that could have saved us a tick. Unfortunately, this is the way the game handles the order of things. So that could have been a 28.2 if the game worked a little differently. Also, if my T-bow had killed, that could have also, because my T-bow goes off a tick before the recoil and Venge, but T-bow killing it could have saved a tick as well, which could have made it a 28.2. And if we had stepped in and then fired the T-bow for the second hit, because the T-bow will land a tick sooner, if that one had killed it, it would have been a 27.6. And if I had timed the thrall to give me overkill for that T-bow shot instead of the next one, that could have been a 27 flat. And so if we look back here, Zulrah only had 7 HP plus the free thrall damage, but this would be used for overkill, so it wouldn't count. So 10 HP total. So if we had done 10 more damage and just have a correct, movement placement and thrall timing, this could have been a 27 flat, which is just crazy. Which makes this even luckier than it was, because this wasn't even like, it's not like this was just barely, like this was so close to being like so much faster. And yeah, and the original method I was going for, the 30-second flat, that was a 1 in 340 chance of seeing blue phase, which is a 1 in 4 chance of it being blue, so it was a 1 in 1500 chance to get. And I mean, I do have a backup strat for green phase, so it's a bit less resetting since if I get green phase, I have backup strats I can do. But yeah, 1 in 1500 was the original method, but what happened to us was a 1 in 16,000 chance, which is crazy. Like, I was freaking out because I knew it would be rare. I was thinking like it could be 1 in a million, but no. 1 in 16,000 still very crazy. And that is just nuts. And in addition to that, I should mention, originally I was actually doing this with the bow of Berdaheim for this first hit here instead of a Sang, because you have to do a 4-tick hit, or I guess 2 bullwhip hits could do 4 ticks of damage, to just get the ticks to align to attack Zulrah and get the maximum number of hits. But it was a 1 in 400, assuming blue phase, instead of a 1 in 340 to do the bow of Berdaheim. But originally I had a mistake with my simulation, so I thought it was fine until I fixed the mistake, and then, yeah. But anyways, that is a breakdown here. But, so 1 in 16,000 was a chance of us getting that. So now here comes the question, can this world record be beaten? The fact that it was a 1 in 16,000 event that happened to us. Can it be faster? So the thing about that is, it can. I wish it couldn't. I wish this was an unbeatable record, but it can be beaten. Because keep in mind, this was a method optimized for 30 seconds flat. Like, we didn't even kill with a T-bow. We were standing still for a while then our Venge went off. That could have been extra damage we were doing. So what I've done some simulations, and I've shown what is the chance of getting certain Zulrah times. And these simulations do use the Raid's free gear. So it will be success rates that you cannot currently get. It also uses a method that's very difficult to do, with very quick switches for the attacks we want to do. So it might be too difficult to be consistent. We'll have to see if we have to end up switching to an easier method in the future. But yeah, let's take a look here. And this is the number of attempts required. Anyways, you can see here, 800 attempts to get 28 points. To tie my record, only 800 attempts once Raid's free gears comes out, if you can do the method I've theory crafted. And yeah, that is crazy. And I've also, another thing I've done to really improve our odds here is instead of resetting for blue phase, I've really optimized it to be good for both blue and green phase. That's half a resetting if you don't have to purely rely on green phase or blue phase. You see here 28.2, 940 resets, not too bad. 27.6, 2200 resets, getting kind of bad. 27 flat, 6000 resets, looking kind of rough now. 2640, 7100. 25.8, 19,000 resets. 25.2, 40,000 resets. 24.6, 110,000 resets. 24 flat, 300,000 resets. 23.4, a million resets. 22.8, 2.4 million, and then 22.2, 10 million resets. That is 100,000 hours. That is 50 years of working full time trying to get this world record. Yeah, good luck whoever's going for that one. But anyways, as you can see, once Raid's free stuff comes out, I definitely see my time being beaten, assuming people can theorycraft the same sort of methods I theorycrafted. I will definitely be going to try to improve my own record post Raids free. Possibly I'll go for this one, nice and easy, but I'm tempted to go for this. I think 26.4 will probably be the quickest time we see. Because I mean, I should mention, in theory, the quickest Zulrah would be you just do the maximum DPS and max it every hit and kill Zulrah in 18 seconds, but it would take millions of years to do that. So, like, in terms of what's realistic, I think 26.4. 71 hours on average if you do 100 resets per hour. And keep in mind, you can go dry. Scotty went 5 times the drop rate when he did it. His 31.8 Zulrah record. He did 12,000 resets on what should have been like 2,000 something, which is crazy. But yeah, I mean, maybe somebody will go for 190 hours. Maybe someone will go for 400 hours. Keeping in mind, the method for this is pretty optimized and difficult to execute. So it might end up being better to do an easier method, even if it doubles the amount of attempts you have to do. But yeah, that is let me know what you think. How fast do you think Zulrah will go? How many hours do you think the community will put in? But I have not included Masori armor in these calculations though, because I feel like it might change before it's released. So that could significantly increase the success rate by quite a bit actually, depending what the effect is changed to. Anyways, that is it. That is the future of Zulrah speedrunning. Quickest time, I think it'll be 26.4. I'll be amazed if somebody goes quicker. And I will personally probably go for this. Possibly only this. We will see how motivated we are when Raids 3 comes out. But yeah, if you've enjoyed my breakdown, my analysis, and my little graph, thank you all for watching. See you next time. Oh! What?